Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Don McCauley. Today we're welcoming program author Trina Jordan, and she is the author of Preteens, Trust Your Gut. Trina, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Don. How are you?
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I am a self-published author. I've been writing since 2016. I felt the urge to share my experiences and hoping that others will learn from it and not make the same mistakes as I did.
So tell us about this book.
My books helps young teens and young girls. It talks about how to live. It talks about knowing that hope within you. I share information about myself as a young person, as a teenager. I go into in-depth details about girlfriends and boyfriends, dating, and peer pressure. And then I also go into what it's like to being a young woman, making all the mistakes that I did as a preteen. And I share with them the insight of marriage. If they're seeing someone that they want to consider marrying, I give them insight on that also. So my book shares a lot of information. It goes from preteens to young girls who are just finishing high school.
Now, who did you write your book for specifically? Who's your target audience?
I would have to say that I wrote my book for young girls from the age of 9 through 16. I share the importance of knowing who you are regardless of where you are, where you live. I write my book for any young lady who wants to understand who she is and the things she will experience. I know that she would benefit from my book. I speak about dating at such a young age. I speak about experimenting with sex, drugs, and boys at a young age. I made so many mistakes in my life because I had no one to talk to. So I'm hoping to reach young girls who have questions and would like some answers.
So could you say there's any type of central message or perhaps underlying theme that you would say runs throughout your book?
Yes, I would say the central message is to trust your gut. As youngsters, the gut is stronger than they realize. If they trust it, their mistakes will be few.
So if you had to choose, what would you say is the single most important idea you're sharing in your book that's really going to add value to the reader's life?
I want my readers to understand that it is okay to be different from others. The last thing you want to do is give into peer pressure. I want them to understand those that are bringing about peer pressure are struggling to understand life circumstances also. I want them to find something that they like within themselves. I want them to like the person that they are and want to be. I want them to focus on the person that they want to become. I want them to take the steps needed to succeed at it. For example, they may want to be a nurse, a dental hygienist, a singer, a model, etc. I want them to understand that peer pressure is everywhere, but you do not have to succumb to it.
So if you could compare your book with any book out there we might already be familiar with, which book would it be and why?
Unfortunately, and that is the reason why I felt the necessity to write this book, to my knowledge, there is no other book out there that shares with teens the importance of self-identity and education with true life experiences. In addition to my true life experiences, if I had the guidance that I wish to bring upon other teens, I would have made few mistakes. And that's what my reason for bringing this book out. Again, to my knowledge, there is no other book out there. And if there is, I would welcome for all readers, whomever they are, to share that book with me.
What can you tell us about the title?
Well, although my book includes information for high schoolers, I wanted to reach out to preteens because trusting your gut begins at the preteen stages in life. Preteens have so much knowledge because of their gut instinct that they forget about it. For example, I remember witnessing the action of a 7-year-old. The girl had a natural instinct about grown-ups. She was very comfortable approaching and holding hands with an adult man during a social gathering at one of our homes. On the other hand, when another adult man approached her, she quivered and ran to her mother. We later found out that the man was arrested for domestic abuse. So preteens, please trust your gut instinct. It will help you make few mistakes as you grow.
So what is a confidant, and why do you feel it's important for preteens to have a confidant?
I believe that it is easy for preteens to succumb to peer pressure. It's part of a normal process in life, unfortunately. However, having a confidant in their life will help them bypass the meanness that they will experience at their young age. Their confidence will help them focus on their individuality. Their confidence will help them focus on the steps they need to grow and become a better person, and therefore they will not succumb to that peer pressure that they will be facing every single day, whether they're in school or at home from a neighbor across the street.
So how does a preteen know that she has someone she can trust?
Well, first of all, confidence will want nothing from you, nothing at all. The reward the confident wants to see the person continue to grow and embrace life in a positive manner. If a confident at any time asks for money, asks for sex, hold hands in an unnatural manner, or make the preteen do something she is uncomfortable with, the preteen should not continue to seek advice or guidance from that confidant. At all times, the preteen should trust her gut. For example, my confidant was my honorary auntie. I could talk to her about anything, and she would not divulge our conversations to anyone, including my mother. My honorary auntie was the type of person to give unconditionally. She would never ask for or expect anything in return. If you trust your gut, you will know if you should trust that confidant.
So would you recommend that a young person choose a school friend?
Oh, absolutely not. No way. I believe a confidant should be someone other than a school friend or someone of the same age group. Many teens are struggling with the same or similar life issues. Therefore, the teen can make their situation worse by assuming that they can give advice to each other. I believe a confidant should be a school counselor, a teacher, a family member, or an adult family friend. Again, you have to trust your gut when dealing with even teachers, family friend, or an adult. You have to trust your gut.
So what encouragement would you give to preteens?
I would encourage preteens to step out of their comfort zone. Focus on some things they would like to accomplish as they grow. Find that confidant who will help guide them to achieve that goal. It does not matter where you live, how you live, or your current status. You must believe that you can do better and eventually have the desire to pay it forward to others when you become a mature adult.
So what advice would you give to young girls?
If I could give or leave one good advice for all young girls, it would be to know yourself. Everything we do in life is based upon how well we know ourselves. Once you know yourself, you will know the importance of finishing school. You will know how to handle boys, whether you want to continue your education to complete a degree. And above all else, you will know when and who to ask for help, who to trust at your age.
What's been your most rewarding experience since publishing your book?
I think my most rewarding experience is accepting that it is okay to share a piece of me with the world. Growing up, I was a very private person. Because I was compelled to share my mistakes, hoping that I would prevent youngsters from making the same or similar mistakes, I began to open up more about myself. Although I'm still a traditionalist, I find that it is important to help others benefit from my knowledge.
Now, did your environment or upbringing play any major role in your writing?
I was always a documentator. In addition, I felt that I was a perfectionist. To prevent myself from asking the same question twice, I would write the question asked and the answer received. It began to be my norm. Unfortunately, when I would acquire a managerial or supervisory position, I found that my superiors did not want me to document my findings. Still naive, I did not understand why until I worked at a SNF management company headquartered in West Hollywood, California. The VP of Finance did not want me to document my findings. After my experience at the SNF management company, I decided to use my documentation to my advantage. This is when I began to write down all of my experience. Before I knew it, I had enough documentation to share with the world.
So how would you describe your writing style?
I would say my writing style is based upon my life experiences. After learning my mistakes, I do share the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but I have to write based upon facts. Once the facts are written, then I share insight on what I could have done better. And that's my hope to the young generation of today.
Now, most authors have a specific reason for writing a book. What was your reason for writing this book?
My specific reason for writing this book and my other two books is to share knowledge. I made many mistakes in my life from a young teen to adulthood. If I can help one person learn from my experiences, my writing would be worth it.
So what part of your book would you say you personally like best?
Oh gosh. The best part of my book is sharing with preteens the importance of liking themselves. They may experience peer pressure, but they must believe that the person or persons that is displaying a body-like trait is the person that has the problem. They must believe that a body-like person is the weakest person anyone will ever meet. Once they let the body-like person know that they do not want to be one of them, the body-like person will leave them alone. You may even have to seek out taking a Krav Maga class just to help build your self-esteem.
In your opinion, who should buy your book?
I think librarians should buy this book to store in their database for schoolgirls to read at will. Parents should buy this book to share with their youngsters. Sisters should buy this book to read to their siblings. Brothers should buy this book to encourage their sister to like themselves and understand the boy population. Bookstore managers should buy this book to store in their bookstore to promote to the youngsters. Therefore, everyone should buy this book to help educate our young people on life situations. We all have something to learn. So this book helps someone in every family learn from my mistakes and hopefully become a better person in life sooner rather than later.
Do you have a website?
My blog website, and it is Your Thoughts Matter at trinablog.home.blog.
This has been just great. Our guest today has been Trina Jordan, and she is the author of Preteens, Trust Your Gut. Trina, thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Don.
This is Don McCauley wrapping up another edition of the Author Show. Go out there, buy the book today, and please share this interview with your friends. Remember, the Author Show can be accessed at any time by visiting theauthorshow.com. Selected interviews can also be found on major podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, and many more. And whether you're an author who would like to be featured or a reader in search of new books to read, the Author Show is a great place to start. Check us daily as we continue to introduce wonderful authors of very interesting books on the Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. Find out more about authors and their work at theauthorshow.com. Theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.